I'm Maria Bailey. We have an information-packed show for you today that is sure to give you great ideas that will help you master the art of balancing family, career, and self. Coming up next. Tax season is that yearly routine where we find ourselves scrambling to our accountants to figure out what we owe or hopefully what we can get back. However, for many hardworking low-income families, understanding about any benefits they may be entitled to is often a challenge. For example, did you know that there is a credit called the Earned Income Tax Credit, and if eligible, you could pay less tax or no tax or even receive a refund? Incredibly, this credit goes unclaimed by millions of people each year. Sounds complicated? Don't worry. With us today is David Williams, Director of the Earned Income Tax Credit with the IRS. He's here to tell us all about this tax break that so many hardworking families may be entitled to. Welcome, David.
Hi, Maria.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about this tax refund that many people might be eligible for.
Well, Maria, it's a break for people who work but don't make a lot of money. Last year, more than 22 million taxpayers got more than $40 billion from the Earned Income Tax Credit.
Wow.
The problem is that we think there are probably another 7 million people out there who are eligible but don't claim it.
Well, why would people who are eligible for a tax break not file for it or claim the income?
Well, there are a lot of reasons. First of all, they may not know about it. And part of the reason I'm here today is to hopefully reach people who just aren't aware of the credit. Another reason is that, as I said before, you can't make a lot of money. And sometimes people who don't make a lot of money don't even have to file a tax return. And in fact, they don't want to. So if you don't file a tax return, you can't get the Earned Income Tax Credit. So part of it is just being aware and filing that tax return.
So how do you find out if you're eligible for this tax income break?
Well, there are a number of ways you can do that. First, if you have web access, you can go to the irs.gov/EITC. We have something there called the EITC Assistant. And with basic information about yourself, how much you made, your family situation, you can figure out how much, whether you're eligible for the EITC and about how much you're eligible for. If you don't have access to the web, you can call the IRS, or we have what are called volunteer income tax assistance sites, or VITA sites. They're all over the country. They're free. You can go in and talk to people, and they will prepare your tax return for free.
Do you think a lot of people are afraid to get into the situation where they're filing for these tax credits, that it might create some other complication with their taxes?
Well, I think a lot of times most Americans would rather deal with the IRS as little as possible. And so low-income working people are no different. So the bottom line is that we want to try and provide ways in which people can get the money they deserve as easily as possible. And that's why we have those resources on our website. That's why we will help prepare your tax return. That's why we have 12,000 sites around the country where people will take care of your taxes for you so you don't have to worry about it.
So David, how does the tax credit work?
Well, basically, you have to have earned income. So if you've got a job or you're self-employed, you've got to have income that you've earned in order to be eligible for the credit. There are requirements that depend on the size of the income, your age, and if you've got kids, where they live. There's some rules that taxpayers need to know. If you meet those rules, the federal government makes you eligible for the credit, and it's figured into your tax return just like everything else.
Do you have to have children to be eligible for this tax credit?
If you don't have kids and you don't make a lot of money, you're eligible for a credit of a maximum of about $400. If you have 2 kids and you're eligible, the maximum credit rises to $4,500. So having children makes a real difference in terms of the value of the credit you're eligible for.
So our viewers can find out information on the website at irs.gov?
irs.gov. They can call the IRS if they need to. They can walk into one of the offices we've got around the country, or they can go to one of those volunteer income tax assistance sites that are also all over the country. There are more than 12,000 of them.
Great information, David. Thank you so much for bringing it to our viewers today. I appreciate you being here. Coming up next, rapid diagnostic tests for the flu and RSV viruses that help your doctor prescribe the right treatments for you and your child. Many children fall ill to common respiratory viruses, including influenza and another virus called RSV. The effects range from missing a few days of school to a more serious complications such as bronchiolitis or pneumonia. But now there are rapid diagnostic tests that can be run right in your doctor's office that help identify these illnesses very quickly. With us today is Dr. Alida Bonner, Clinical Assistant Professor of Pediatric Emergency Medicine at the Dell Children's Medical Center of Central Texas. Dr. Bonner has performed extensive research with rapid diagnostic tests for the flu and RSV. She's also an advocate for the use of these tests in clinical practice. Welcome, Dr. Bonner.
Thank you.
Influenza comes around each year. Why are these diagnostic tests so important?
Well, first of all, Maria, it's important to understand that many of the illnesses that we see during the wintertime are due to respiratory viruses. And many of these viruses have symptoms that overlap, ranging from symptoms such as a common cold to pneumonia and bronchiolitis. By having rapid tests available, physicians are able to more accurately diagnose which virus is present, if a virus is present, and this leads to better treatment. Additionally, one of the more important aspects is that antibiotic resistance is becoming a very serious health threat across the country. And by being able to accurately diagnose that this is a virus and not a bacterial infection such as strep throat that requires antibiotics, physicians can more appropriately treat these children.
How do these tests help with the flu season in our children?
Well, actually, influenza occurs in winter epidemics and affects numerous children, and oftentimes will cause a very high spike in fever as high as 104 or 105 degrees. RSV will cause more minor symptoms frequently, ranging from common cold, but can be more serious with symptoms such as wheezing and bronchiolitis.
Why is it so important to diagnose these viruses quickly?
The most important aspect is with influenza, a rapid diagnosis leads to improved treatment through antiviral use, but this has to be diagnosed within the first 48 hours of symptom onset. So speed is of critical importance, and a rapid test helps with that.
Thank you so much for being with us today, Dr. Bonner. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
To add further insight to this topic, we now turn to Debbie Feinberg, Director of Worldwide Marketing at Quidel Corporation, makers of the QuickView brand of rapid diagnostic test, one of the several companies that manufacture rapid point-of-care tests for flu and RSV. Welcome, Debbie.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about how this test works?
Certainly. While there's a lot of science behind it, it works quite simply because all the physician has to do is take a nasal swab from the patient's nose, insert it into the tube with liquid, and then right afterwards take a test strip, insert that into the tube as well, and within 10 to 15 minutes, depending on the test, you have a result that's really easy to read.
And how does the QuickView test differ from others that might be on the market?
Well, QuickView, and at Quidel, we invest heavily in manufacturing quality products because healthcare decisions are so important. We are the #1 brand in the professional market for strep, influenza, and pregnancy tests. But in addition, we also invest in clinical proof, studies that prove that our test performs very well.
How does a mom find out more about these tests, and can they request a QuickView test from their pediatrician?
We tell people to ask their doctor to visit medical websites. We also have several websites available for people to get more information on how our tests can help in treatment decisions and appropriately prescribing either antibiotics or antivirals. And those sites are quickviewrsv.com, quickviewflu.com, and flutest.com.
Well, I want to thank you so much, Debbie, for being with us today and providing moms with this very useful information. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Coming up next, a weight loss plan that really works. It includes help from doctors and professionals to help you keep the weight off. Nearly 70% of Americans are overweight or obese. That's over 60 million people at greater risk for high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and diabetes. We all know there's lots of diets out there. We've done them and nothing seems to work. There really is no magic pill. So let's do something different today. Let's talk about one that does work, OptiFast. It was the first low-calorie diet on the market and has helped over 1 million people since 1974. And there are more than 80 clinical trials to prove it. OptiFast is unique in combining a low-calorie diet with behavior modification, medical monitoring, and nutrition and exercise education. With us today are Dr. Gloria Hakkarainen and Robin Russo, both from Palm Beach Weight and Wellness, one of a national network of clinics that offer the OptiFast program. Dr. H, as she's known, is board certified in bariatrics, OBGYN, and anti-aging. Robin Russo is a licensed clinical social worker with a degree in exercise science and is a PhD candidate. Welcome, Robin and Dr. H.
Thank you.
Okay, Dr. H, you have low-calorie diet, you have doctor visits and exercise. What is this all about?
Well, OptiFast is a very unique program. First of all, it's a rapid, medically safe weight loss program where patients are losing on average between 3 and 8 pounds a week, sometimes even more. They're doing it under doctor supervision. We look at their blood work, we run an EKG, and the patients also receive a comprehensive nutritional assessment. What's special about the program is its unique psychobehavioral component with group sessions once a week. So it's an intense 3-month program for patients to come and lose weight. Oftentimes we will monitor their medical conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, their heart attack risk, their cholesterol, and we'll see just amazing improvements in those disease processes.
So it all works together. How does that happen?
Well, it's unique in that the patients come in every single week for counseling. They see a doctor. They get their blood and their EKG looked at, and also their disease process, whether it be cholesterol, high blood pressure, being followed medically. So as they come on in, they learn timing of eating, which is great for the patients. Oftentimes they're not eating at the correct times of day. They also learn portion control. They learn about adequate nutrition. It's all part of the program. But what's really great about the program is the group session. The patients love to come in. They love to see the weight loss, which is quite rapid. 3 to 8 pounds a week is coming off. That's the same rate as a gastric bypass surgery.
Wow. So once we obtain this safe and fast weight loss, what prevents us from doing what most of us have done in the past and have that yo-yo effect?
That's the $64,000 question. Yes. What's unique about OptiFast is it really has a great behavioral component. And I'll let Robin describe more about it. What's really awesome about the program is the patients support one another, and they lead each other into successful long-term weight loss. Our center is designed specifically just for that purpose.
Now, we hear that there are over 80 clinical trials. What does that mean to someone like me trying to lose weight?
It's nice to know that you have all this doctor-driven, hardcore science behind the program. Unlike any other commercial weight loss program that you may have heard about, there are actually articles written in what we call peer-reviewed journals, such as the New England Journal of Medicine. It's something that doctors look at every day and we take very seriously. The data that is shown with OptiFast provide such conclusive results that for us as physicians, it's wonderful to be able to provide the patients with the medical safety that they need as they're losing the weight rapidly.
And Robin, you have an important role in all of this. Can you talk a little bit about what you do?
Sure. Part of what I do is facilitate our educational groups. Our groups are topical in nature, so we talk about different things such as coping mechanisms, how to handle stress, behavior modification, how to handle the holidays, how to deal with family and friends in order to facilitate a lifelong pattern of weight loss and health.
So why is that part of the program so important to the success of the patients?
Because part of what we're trying to do is lay the building blocks, the foundation for lifelong health. The patients are coming into the group, they're making new friends, they're learning different ways to handle their problems, and we want them to carry these through with them throughout the rest of their lives.
Yes, no one wants to regain that weight. Coming up next, we'll have some successful OptiFast patients who will share with us their life-changing experiences after having lost significant weight. Stay with us. I would like to welcome to the show Tamara Fish and Susanna Rickards. Thanks for being with us today, ladies.
Thank you.
So let's start with you, Susanna. How has the weight loss affected your life, socially or with your family or your career?
It has been amazing to be able to move through life freer and just easier. I've enjoyed being more active.
And why did you pick OptiFast?
For me, it gave me a break, a reprieve from like the war that I had created between myself and food. It was too intense, and OptiFast gave me like neutral ground to get to know food and have a better relationship with food.
And Tamara, why was OptiFast your choice in weight loss?
I've actually been a patient of Dr. Haka-Reinen's through the OBGYN practice that she has. We delivered our children at the same time, and she had lost her baby weight and I had not. And as a doctor, I know that it's very important to be healthy, and as an older mom, I want to have a lot more energy. So in conversations with her, she expressed to me that, you know, I was morbidly obese and I needed to lose the weight, and she encouraged me strongly, and the program is a terrific program. It's a good fit for me. So
Susanna, I have to ask you the question that I'm sure everybody wants to know. How much weight did you lose, and how do you feel now?
Well, I lost 55 pounds.
Wow.
And I feel like a completely different person. I think the biggest change for me is being able to, I wake up in the morning and I'm not like exhausted. I don't feel tired all the time. I feel like I can move and I feel free. It's wonderful.
That's a really great feeling to feel that way,
Yeah.
particularly in the morning.
I know.
And Tamara, what about you? What's the big number?
big number, 70 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, and I feel wonderful. It's amazing how different you feel about yourself. I definitely have more energy, which is the most important part, but also just looking at myself in the mirror like, oh my God, that's me, you know.
And now that you've lost the weight, how has it made a difference?
Oh, I have more energy. I can keep up with a 6-year-old son. My patients in my practice are stunned when they walk in because they knew me before and they walk in now and say, oh my, look at you, you know, and some people don't even recognize me. So it's an amazing thing.
And Susanna, how do you feel about the program?
I felt like it was a wonderful structure for me to get to fill in the gaps in my education concerning food and fitness, and the therapy was fantastic.
You would think that being a physician, Tamara, that you would know what the secrets are to losing weight, but apparently it took a little bit more. Why was that?
Well, I do know the secrets. I mean, you have to eat healthy and you have to exercise, and I tried for years and years, and obviously it never worked that way. So OptiFast really gave me the tools. They gave me the jump start, first of all, to get here as opposed to there, and then the tools to continue with a healthy lifestyle now. So.
Well, congratulations to both of you on being successful and maintaining your weight loss and living a healthy lifestyle with OptiFast. So congratulations, and thanks for being here today to share your story with our viewers.
I think if I remember correctly, you always get the chicken soup. Yeah. Along with the strawberry mixable. All right. And any supplements today for you?
No, I'm all set.
All right. Oh, great. That concludes our visit.
Great.
I want to thank Dr. Haka-Reinen and Robin Russo for being here today and informing us about this comprehensive and effective weight loss program. Thank you, ladies, very much. For more information and resources about OptiFast, visit their website at optifast.com/balancingact. What if your headaches, your asthma, your irritable bowel, even your child's hyperactivity were related to the food you eat? And what if the foods you're eating are actually toxic to you? Maybe the right food is your best medicine. We have two guests with us today who will explain how a blood test may be the missing key to relieving your chronic unsolved conditions, even when all else fails. With us today are Jeffrey Zavik, the founder and CEO of Immunolaboratories and author of Toxic Food Syndrome, and Dr. Tammy Bourne, co-founder of the Bourne Preventive Health Care Clinic in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Good afternoon. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
So, Jeffrey, I'm sure a lot of our viewers are amazed to hear that the foods we're eating are actually toxic. Can you explain that to us?
Yes, actually there's two types of toxic reactions. I think one people are very familiar with, an immediate type reaction where something like shrimp, eating shrimp or peanuts sends someone to the hospital literally with anaphylactic shock, a very serious, potentially deadly condition. The less commonly understood and recognized are the delayed type 2 reactions. This is when you eat a food that causes a reaction hours or even days later, so that the sinus congestion or the migraine headache or the irritable bowel that we can't seem to figure out what's causing it happened from a food that we ate a day or two or a few hours earlier. So it's a delayed type 2 reaction.
So you developed a blood test that's simple and can identify these foods that you may not react well to.
Yes, and for the person getting the test, it's really very simple. It involves just a sample of blood, just like anyone would have done in a laboratory, and you're done. It's a matter of a few minutes. In the laboratory, it's a much more involved procedure. And I brought a little sample here. This plate would actually hold over 100 different foods. Each little well would have a microscopic amount of a food. And then we take your blood serum, and in it are antibodies, which represent your immune system. And your immune system basically exposed to each one of these foods. If there is a toxic reaction, if that food is not harmonious with your system, there will be a color change that we can actually measure.
And Dr. Bourne, you have been using the test from the immunolaboratories for many years on your patients. What has been the reaction, and how have you been able to help them?
It's really been a great test. If there was any one test I could do on every patient, it would be this test, because everyone needs to know which foods they're reacting to so that we can organize a plan for them to really get them healthy. These foods, what we would think of as healthy foods, could be causing serious reactions like irritable bowel syndrome patients, migraines, rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis. Many skin problems can be helped by just eating the right foods.
So what about women and children?
Women and children are probably two of my most common patients, especially women who are having maybe some PMS issues or perimenopause issues, because those are the times when sometimes food allergies give you greater symptoms and give you more headaches, more bowel trouble, more skin problems. And so finding out their food allergies is very helpful. But it's really fun to take care of children who've been on medications, either with asthma or ADD, that when you find out to which foods they're reacting, many times they are able to get off their medications, they feel great, their hospital admissions are less. It's really a fun way to treat people.
How does our viewers tap into this knowledge that you've obtained and the success that you've experienced in learning more about toxic foods?
Well, I've written a book. It's a quick read, Toxic Food Syndrome, and it's the book that I would recommend. In fact, I would give it to your viewers complimentary if they just like to call in or go to our website would be probably the best thing to do.
And what's that URL?
BetterHealthUSA.com, www.betterhealthusa.com, and just look for the little banner related to this show, and we'll be happy to send them a copy of the book. They can download it or they can have it sent to them.
I want to thank both of you for being with us today and providing this very useful information to our viewers. Thank you very much. Coming up next, an affordable way to do a room makeover with easy-to-use furniture covers. Stay with us.
Now here's a question for you. How do you get rid of an old look and update an entire room all the while keeping the same old furniture? Well, SureFit furniture covers are the perfect solution. They install easily and they conform to almost any chair or any couch. Now, SureFit is a company that's been around for over 90 years, and they're known as the furniture cover experts and for their quality and durability. They make recovering furniture so easy, it's like getting a room makeover whenever you want one. Now, we're going to take a look at 3 different types of cover: the stretch form fit, the tailor wrap fit, and the classic fit. And here to help me is Cheryl Boltsey from SureFit. Cheryl, welcome to the Balancing Act. It's great to have you here.
Thank
you.
What
are we going to work with today?
This particular product is our stretch separate seat. And
Okay.
the first thing we want to do to put this on is to remove the cushions from the couch.
Okay, so that's easy enough.
That is very simple.
This couch has 3 cushions, but the
Our separate seat cover fits a 3-cushion or a 2-cushion.
Okay.
You know,
Great.
Multiple cushions.
well, I noticed that you have little tabs that tell
We have
you
positioning
where.
stickers and tabs that tell you the front and the back of the couch. And the
Okay.
first thing we want to do is find the arm.
The arm. I think I've got that right here.
Good.
So I'll just slip that on. Now that's really easy to see because there are seams that go along this way that really help contour to the sofa itself.
Put it over the arm here.
Okay. And should I just pull it down all the way?
Yes, pull it to the
Okay.
base of the floor.
Now this is a real stretchy fabric. Is it stain-proof or?
Yes, this is a washable fabric.
Washable
you can
fabric,
take it
okay,
and
great.
throw it in the washing machine and
That's great if you got a lot of kids or pets or
yes,
messy
yes.
husbands.
I have this particular product at home. I have a 5-year-old son that wreaks havoc on my couch, and I wash it almost monthly.
Right.
We're going to take this and tuck it in the back of the couch.
Yeah, I see there's a seam right here.
Yes.
So you just tuck that in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If I get stuck doing this by myself, don't you have a website that has
Yes.
videos on it that shows you how to do it?
SureFit.com has a video that will tell you all about how to put each of these
Great.
constructions together. So we
Great
have a
idea.
tremendous amount of support online, as well as our 800 number that will help you put these slip covers on if you run into trouble.
Right. And you've got easy to read instructions too. so-
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So now we're ready to put the slip cover onto the cushions.
Yes, I'm going to give you one end.
Alrighty.
We're just going to put the cushion covers right inside, right at the seam.
Alrighty. And make sure you got the front to the front, the back to the back, right?
Yes.
Okay, and I've got the zipper. Wow, this is easy.
It is very easy.
Very easy. And this fabric really feels good. It has a nice, it's almost like a Chanel.
Yes, yes.
Very nice, very contemporary.
We're just going to put the couch cushions back on the couch, and then you continue to work in the fabric into the crevices and creases of the couch.
Because when you move things around, the seams get moved around a little bit when you're first starting out, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then SureFit also makes great accessories, like pillows and that sort of thing.
Correct, correct.
So that makes it real easy to give it a custom look. And it's just basically that simple.
Yes, it is.
Now let's take a look at the tailored wrap fit. We're going to see this one in hyper speed. So the key points to note are how easy it is to adjust your particular piece with the skirt covering the excess fabric and the fabric covered elastic bands in the back, which give you a snug custom fit. Now I really like that feature. And again, there are plenty of colors and patterns to choose from. For any questions, you can simply go to surefit.com. Very nice. That was easy. And take a look at this. Here's the same furniture, but completely different looks. And we can change the look of the room out anytime. Our wing chair can be taken care of too. Once again, just tuck and smooth and you're done.
Thank you so much, Kathy, for joining us today. That was a lot of fun redoing those couches.
It really was. SureFit is a great product and it's really easy to use and you get a great look when you're all done.
So stylish.
It is.
Thanks. Thank you for joining us today. I hope we've given you some ideas to help bring balance to your world. I'm Maria Bailey, inviting you to join us next time on The Balancing Act. If you'd like more information on anything you've seen here today, visit our website at vstar.com.